Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and in today's video I want to talk to you about the difficulties I had to face when I moved here to Vietnam. So without further ado, let's get this video started. As you know, I moved here 3 months ago and I have 7 things to mention that I found difficult to deal with. I tell you why, and I will also tell you how I overcome my kind of negative feelings towards these things. So the first thing is food. If you have seen my previous video about eating in Vietnam, then you must know that back then when I made that video 2 years ago when I was here, I ate everything, but since then I went vegan half a year ago. So when I come here and I tell to people that I'm vegan, they're like, oh my god, so it must be so hard for you to eat because most of the traditional dishes contain meat and eggs and stuff like that, but that is not the reality. It is very, very easy to find food if you're vegan, and if you come to Vietnam, don't worry about it whatsoever. Okay, so maybe it's not a difficulty at all. There are so many beans and legumes here you can choose from, tofu, soy milk, and it's all very cheap. Very fresh fruit and vegetables, and seriously, it's like a paradise of food. But what you have to be careful about is where you buy your fresh produce, because if you just want to go to a street market or you want to buy next to the road, they can be very poisonous. They have a lot of pesticides on them, or people can color it just to make it look better. So I definitely don't recommend you to do that. What I've been told is to just buy things in a supermarket. It might be sometimes a bit more expensive, but it's less likely to be poisonous. Not guaranteed though. The second thing I want to mention is the weather. So when I come here, I was like, yeah, it's so cold in Hungary and I'm gonna go to Vietnam and it's so hot there and it's amazing. But what I didn't think about is the humidity, which changes a lot in this equation, because oh my god, I'm sweating constantly right now as well, and it's just like non-stop sweating all the time, and your skin is so sticky. And at the beginning I was very conscious about, oh my god, I'm sweating in public and I look horrible, but now I just go like, I don't care. Everybody's sweating, don't stress about it. It's just extra stress in your life that you really don't need on a daily basis. The third thing is the language, which kind of intimidated me at the beginning because I moved kind of out of the city center. So if you move to Teho, when you come here as a foreigner, it's fine because there are so many people, Caucasian people, and they can speak well in English and you can make new friends, and it's amazing for, you know, like socializing. But I don't live in that environment. I live in a very Vietnamese environment, and I didn't understand the signs. I still don't, all of them, and I don't speak the language, and I was like lost, and I felt so isolated, and I got depressed, and I was like, I felt I'm so dependent on my boyfriend to take me to places. And then one day I was just like, no. I started to learn Vietnamese, as you know, if you follow me on Instagram. If not, follow me on Instagram, and then you will get to know some more information about me, which is kind of easy. How Alex calls it is the caveman language. You don't have to change the ending of the words. You just like put one after the other. It is like in theory very easy to learn, because the grammar is so simple. The pronunciation is not, so I'm still struggling with that, but at least I'm dedicated to learn. So now I am more independent, and I just use Google Maps to get by, and I just had to force myself out of the house to, Veronica, go and do things on your own. Don't get bothered that you don't understand people. The fourth thing is being in the center of attention. So yeah, since I don't live in Teho and I don't live that environment where you can see many Caucasian people, I'm a rare thing around here for people. And yeah, sometimes it can be very annoying when you just walk in a park peacefully with your boyfriend, and then you just stop to look for something, and then somebody just grabs you, pulls you next to her, and then her husband's camera is already in your face for photo, and then you know you didn't even have a choice about it. And it is annoying, and people shouldn't be doing that. Sometimes when I sit in a cafe and people are just looking at me without blinking, it's very intimidating. So if you are Vietnamese and you see a foreigner, feel free to go and say hello to them. Feel free to come and say hello to me. But staring or like pushing or pulling a person is not a polite thing to do. I think next time it happens, I'm just gonna say Nam Nhin. So yeah, I'm gonna charge for the photos. No, not really, but you know. The fifth thing I want to talk about is having new friends. I kind of find it difficult to do that because like mainly when somebody moves to this country, they move to Daeho, which is far from my place, very far. And if it comes to socializing with Vietnamese people, they either don't speak very good English, so it's hard to like deepen your friendship with them, and there is no problem with that, you know. I can really spare some patience for somebody to understand each other, so that's not the question. Or they are very friendly and they go like, oh yeah, let's be friends, but what that really means is just they want to practice their English with somebody and you don't really have anything in common. They just use this term, let's be friends, when they just mean they want to be friendly to you so they can talk to you. But when you are saying that you're a friend of somebody, then it's really a two people thing. I have many people I got to know and they're like, yeah, let's be friends, but then they never call me. Or I call them to go out, but then they just keep canceling the event, and you know, that is not friendship. When one person is trying to work for something, that's already bad. In a relationship, in a friendship, in a business partnership, like in any kind of ships. So yeah, now I'm just like acknowledging the fact that I'm alone, and if I want to go do something, whether with somebody or without anybody, then I'll just go and do it. And that gave me freedom of not being dependent on what other people want to do. I don't know if I can explain it well enough. I hope you understand me. The sixth thing I want to talk about is the traffic, and this category is kind of broad. I might make a separate video about it because there are just so many things to mention. But yeah, there are many people who don't care about the rules. They just go because they want to go. And it's very dangerous. If it was only affecting them, I wouldn't give a shit. But the thing is that it affects everybody who's on the same road with you. And it's very dangerous, and there are many accidents happening. Whenever I go from one place to another, at least one time on the way, I get a mini heart attack. And long term, it's like, it really drains your energy, and just traveling makes you exhausted because, you know, you always have to pay attention and you're always so like this on your motorbike, like scared. People pay attention to the rules. It's important, and it's not a coincidence that it's important. The only good thing about traffic is that if you get your driving license done here, then you are definitely one of the most skillful drivers anywhere else in the world. It really gives you some extra skills and your senses are more developed, I think. And the last thing I want to talk about is the air pollution, which is so bad and is getting worse and worse, unfortunately. There are too many motorbikes. They use very old-fashioned vehicles, and like literally they are leaving black smoke behind. It's so bad. So what you have to do when you get here is to wear a mask, buy a better quality and wear it all the time, because you're just not used to it. But even if you are, it's just not healthy for you. Good thing is though, they are building a metro, and apparently by the end of this year or the beginning of next year it should be finished. It's not an underground metro, but hopefully many people will take it instead of motorbikes and cars, and it's kind of going to lead to a cleaner air. I don't know, I'm just hoping. So these were the 7 things that really annoyed me, and now how I overcome them. Yeah, I found it difficult when first I moved here. So many things have changed. I had to leave my family and friends behind. I started a new career, a new job that was so completely different from what I've done so far that, you know, it really used up a lot of my emotional energy. And yeah, even little things like the ones I mentioned previously took me down and sometimes annoyed me. And yeah, there was this point when I felt not good about being here, even though there is no real explanation why I felt that way, because altogether I have to say I have a pretty awesome life. I have a beautiful house to live in, I have a motorbike to drive, I have a good job, yet I felt down because I just realized that adopting to this new life really required a lot of emotional energy from me. So when it comes to dealing with small things, I had no patience left for them whatsoever. And then, yeah, there was this point when I was so down, I didn't want to go out of the house. I was just like at home, sleeping or like crying 3 times a day, like didn't know what was wrong, and I was just so homesick and I didn't want to be here. But one day I was just like, okay, I'm fed up with this. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Just pull my shit together and do something. And so I started building up a routine, which is doing yoga every morning. And it's so important for me to do routines. I'm like a Labrador dog. I love routines. I love the consistency, and like to grab to something that I do every day. It's very important for me. Also to plan to do the things I like to do back in Hungary. So now I try to get away from Hanoi like every weekend, or go somewhere, just to drive somewhere, to be in a different environment. It helps a lot. And also I love cycling, and even though, as I mentioned you before, the traffic is hectic and the air pollution sucks, I'm going to buy a bike so I can do my biking, and you know, I just really love doing it. So having plans to do something I like already helped me, even though I'm not doing it yet. So wherever you are, if you're far from home, or if you're at home, you're just fed up with your life, I really recommend you to do the same things, to find something that you really like. And also taking 5 minutes every day at the end of my practice, yoga practice, and to just thank myself for the good things that I do when I put effort into doing something, like today making a video, or just like doing yoga, or being grateful for the good things that happen to me, and just listing those good things in my head kind of encourages me to be more positive thinker, instead of just lying in bed and in misery and feeling sorry for myself, because that really doesn't help anybody, and it's not gonna make you feel better either. So yeah, this video is kind of long, but I really hope that it kind of helped you a little bit. As you can see, there are many annoying things in our life, and everybody has some difficulties to deal with. But at the end of the day, it is our decision how we want to handle it and how we want to feel about handling these things. So yeah, I'm going to stop making this video now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please press the like button, comment on it, and also share it with your friends or family or anybody really. And don't forget to subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram, because I have an Instagram. And I will see you in the next video, which is going to be about our trip to this camping place. I forgot the name, but I will let you know later. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Until then, stay positive and be kind to one another. Oh my god, I'm sweating so much. Like seriously. And the seventh thing, it's so hard to say these two words together. Seventh thing. And the last thing I want to talk about